What is a dash? A dash is a type of punctuation used in writing. For example, the book's pages, although wrinkled and thin, were full of crazy adventures. Let's say you're writing a story, and you write, "The girl, she had just turned 6, hurried to the bus stop as her backpack bounced on her shoulders." The sentence doesn't seem quite right because the fact that the girl had just turned 6 years old is important to the story. But when you put it in parentheses, it makes the information seem less important than the rest of the sentence, like something extra that the reader doesn't need. How do you call attention to it? Simple. Instead of using the parentheses, which are like a whisper, use a dash. The girl, she had just turned 6, hurried to the bus stop as her backpack bounced on her shoulders. Using a dash like this can be like putting a neon yellow flashing sign in front of the phrase that screams, "I am important!" But dashes aren't just for calling attention to information. They can also be used to do the opposite. Dashes can add a bonus phrase, information to help describe or add to the sentence without being necessary for the sentence to make sense. For example, autumn, with its crisp air and colorful leaves, was his favorite season. Using the dash to add the information describing autumn helps the sentence become richer and better without making the information seem less important to the sentence. Dashes can also be used to help make a sentence clearer by separating information put together by commas. Without a dash, this sentence could be confusing. Winter in Seattle, with its dry air, rain, and wind that stung like needles on your face, was always the worst time of the year. Because commas were used to both separate the information describing winter in Seattle as a whole and separate each bit of information that described winter in Seattle, the sentence is a little confusing and doesn't sound great. Instead, you could use a dash to separate all the information describing winter in Seattle and then use commas to separate each bit of information. That makes a whole lot more sense, right? Now let's say you're writing a script for a movie and a character stutters. Using a comma to show the stuttering doesn't make any sense. I don't know what you're talking about. Replacing the comma with a dash works much better. I don't know what you're talking about. You can also use a dash if a character interrupts someone. For example, maybe we can, Beatrice was cut off as Alex stumbled into the room, screaming, "I have an idea!" Remember, be careful not to use a dash too much because it will make your writing seem choppy and disconnected. Unless, of course, that's the effect you are going for.